It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's our goal. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa. Thank you so much for joining us here at the table, here in this glorious, glorious summertime. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good in your life. I hope you're out there seeing faces, kissing people on the lips. So good to be alive. You're so lucky. You're so lucky to be alive. We have a great show for you today. We've got Ian Edwards, one of the funniest comedians working today. And we've got a quick bite with Chris Distefano, another very funny man who's got a great podcast and he's super funny, such great energy. He will be a guest on the podcast as well, and we were lucky to get a quick bite with him halfway through the show. I'd like to thank the good people at Credit Karma for sponsoring the show today. Credit Karma. Who doesn't want instant gratification? If you're looking for satisfaction, there's no need to wait. With Credit Karma Money, you can win cash reimbursements for debit purchases. Right now, visit creditkarma.com/winmoney to open your free account and start winning instant karma. You make a purchase and you find out if you won right there. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. You're spending money anyway. Why not give yourself a chance at winning a little money as well? More on that a little later today. We also, let's see, so we are in the middle of the summer. I hope you are enjoying summer food, summer barbecues, breaking it all out. It's so funny. The rhythm of life is it's all planned out, isn't it? The rhythm of us tied to nature, as much as a supermarket can have things that look like they're in season all year round, they're really not. You know, like you see strawberries, everything's there in the supermarkets now. We're doing funny things to it, and you can see strawberries year round. You see apples year round. The pasta aisles are always filled with what they got. The meat and fish is always stocked all year round. But the rhythm of what you want and crave, tied to the rhythm of the year, it's just something that you can't escape. When I'm roll in after this podcast and go back home and I sit with my family, no one is going to say, "Dad, make us a big Italian lasagna with sauce and bread." It's not happening. It's hot outside. They are going to want me to go to the grill. They're going to want me to barbecue something. They're going to want a light salad. We had on the 4th of July, I made a macaroni salad that I got from the New York Times, which is just like this herb-heavy, lighter macaroni salad, just to try and get some pasta into people. I know they don't need it, but I know in their souls they need it. And this is the way to sneak it in the summer. And it was dill. It was, what was it mainly? It was dill, no rosemary, Dijon mustard, little bit of mayonnaise, just because it's macaroni salad and you've got to keep that that in there. A lot of parsley, Italian parsley, chopped up finely. Celery, a lot of celery, and Dijon mustard, mayonnaise, and you just kind of whip it up. Olive oil, I believe. Nice and light, just having fresh herbs. When we had macaroni salad as kids, it was just mayonnaise. It was just elbow macaroni and some mayonnaise, maybe some salt and pepper, and just splat it onto your thing. Big, heavy potato salads. All this stuff, like a variation on all these classics, is the way to go for the summer, for sure. And it was a big hit. It was a big hit there at the 4th of July. I ate way too many hot dogs. I know we talked last week about the hot dog competition. I didn't add any new hot dogs to the repertoire. It's still Hebrew National was the only thing that I served during, and this is not an endorsement. That was the go-to. They're the front runners so far this summer. If you want to tell me which way I should go, there's a lot more weekends left in the summer. And who even needs weekends? I'll do a hot dog midweek. I'm not. Did you see the hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July? Joey Chestnut breaking his own record, 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Oh my Lord. I literally don't know if I've eaten 76 in my life. That's not a man that is enjoying his hot dogs. That is just swallowing pills, swallowing giant pork encased pills down his gut. Oh, but I had a bunch on the 4th of July. I was very proud of myself. Slathered with mustard, didn't go the sauerkraut, even though it's my favorite, but it's too much of a pain in the ass. Had a whole bunch of people roll through, and I stood at the grill literally for over 4 hours. I loved it. People are like, isn't that a pain in the ass? No. To sit there and be able to feed your friends and your family and have kids just come out of the pool and ask for, can I have a cheeseburger? Can I have a hot dog? The best. And then you give it to them and they just run off. They're enjoying their summer moment and you got to make it happen. It's the best. The best. Had a bunch of beers. The kids love the White Claws. The kids love the Trulies. When kids, I'm saying college age. And some of the younger teenagers were sneaking them. I'm not dumb. And then I had just beers in canned Ballast Point and Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada went crazy and trying to get in on the flavored beers. You might be pushing it a little. You might be pushing. I don't know if I need 4 different kinds of citrus in an IPA. Just saying, don't really need it. The one thing where I do stick out, where I go against the seasons, I know you should be drinking like a white wine and a rosé. I still want a red wine. Nobody does. It's hot out. They don't want to sit there with a glass of red. You know what? There are reds that you can eat. A nice Pinot Noir. Let the supermarket sell you strawberries all year round. I'm going to take red wine all year round, for sure. But hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Hopefully you're screwing around. Hopefully you're doing some things that you shouldn't be doing and not taking work all that seriously. It definitely feels like a very festive time of year normally, and this is different. Don't you feel like it's different? Even though there's still like some little rumblings of warnings and things like that, we are so far from where we were a year ago, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for muddling through. All right, let's get to it. Let's get with Ian Edwards, a great, great comedian and a great guy, and we've been in each other's orbits for a long time. I call him a friend for sure. We've done so many gigs together, and I truly love him, but I'm really looking forward to sitting down and going through I was looking forward to going through. This podcast is so great because I get to ask questions of people who I really know and love, but you get to ask them questions that you never would in a normal conversation. And to sit down with Ian is just so great, so great. We had a great time. I gave him bread. He gave me insight. I am richer for this conversation, and you will be too. And then after that, we're going to grab a quick bite with the great Chris Distefano. All right, so let's start it off. You can follow Ian on social media, Ian Edwards, and then he has a podcast here on this network called The Soccer Comic Rant. The Soccer Comic Rant. I love guys that love soccer. It's just like, yeah, I'd love to do that and video games. I just don't have the time. I can't take on all of that soccer and be dumb in every conversation. Well, listen to the Soccer Comic Rant and you'll be able to get through some parties. Also on Comedy Central, Ian Talk was his special. So funny. Just after this conversation, you're going to want to just go to YouTube, find all the links. Ian Edwards, a great person and one of the funniest comedians out there. Enjoy. Thanks for being here.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers. Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been a minute.
This is how I'm starting my podcast now with this question. Mm-hmm. What have you eaten today?
Today, nothing.
Zero. And it is right now, as we're recording this, around 2:15 in the afternoon.
Right.
So is this an intermittent fasting thing?
Yeah, but the plan is to eat at 12 noon every day. Mm-hmm. But I missed the window. I had something to do at 11. So I couldn't eat before I did at 11.
Right.
And then after that, I had to get here.
Right.
So then there was no time to eat in between.
Uh-huh.
And then the name of the show is Breaking Bread.
Right.
So I'm like, why should I eat before I break bread? There's going to be bread there. So I was like, and then I ate late last night anyway, and supposed to stop eating before 8.
Uh-huh.
So it kind of, I might actually be disciplined enough by
Right.
accident to eat within the 16.
Right,
To
right.
get the 16-hour break.
So have you been doing this for a long time? You've always been in shape as long as I've known you.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I've looked in shape sometimes when I ain't.
Mm-hmm.
And the pandemic, I went in and out of shape.
Right.
Yeah. That was my body. Before the pandemic, I was going to the gym 3 times a week. Like, I do the Comedy Store.
Right.
And there's a 24-hour fitness on the way home.
Uh-huh.
And it'd be open. And there'd be nobody in there.
Oh.
And I was like, let me just hit that real quick and then go home.
Smart.
Yeah, it's
Late
like-
night workout.
Yeah.
Smart.
And like, there's nobody in there. I'd work out in the same clothes that I just did the show in.
Oh, really?
There's nobody. And I'm just doing some weights and shit. Not sweaty.
Right.
And I'm just like trying to. And then it's like, what? Might as well use the other part of the 24 hours that nobody's using.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the 24-hour fitness, people are really just using about 10 hours of that.
10 hours of that, yeah. Why? I don't have to like wait online to use a machine.
Right.
Like,
Ask some dude if he's still using it.
yeah, and he's on his phone.
Right.
There's people that be on the machine on their phone, and you're like,
Come on.
yeah, feel the presence of other people, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I'm staring you down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty brilliant. And then you go home and go to bed?
Go home, watch a little TV,
Mm-hmm.
and then before the pandemic, I'd like watch YouTube videos of what's going on in Wuhan, China, and see the empty streets, and be like, shit, if this thing comes here, we're dead.
Oh, really?
America's not gonna stay inside. Like,
You were dialed in.
yeah, it's like it's just gonna be a problem. 100%.
And just so our listeners know, this is the first time that you've been out in what capacity? Doing a podcast, or just pretty much? You also do your podcast in the studio, and you haven't been here.
Yeah, I haven't been here
Since-
to do my podcast.
Right.
And since I think I did the last one like March
Wow.
last year.
This is exciting. So,
Yeah.
well, thanks. How do you feel? You don't seem nervous.
Nah, because you've been through all the stages
Yeah.
throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
So now it just is what it is.
Right.
I'm working out, taking my vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
trying to stay as healthy
Right.
as possible.
Yeah.
Keep my immune system, tip-top shape. So
So when you were going to the 24-hour fitness after the Comedy Store, and then it stopped when we all stopped going to the Comedy Store, you were saying you were up and down. Did you go through a period where you didn't work out?
yeah, like I'm trying to remember the course of things. Like, I was working out,
Mm-hmm.
but I had no weights or anything. I did
Right.
have an elliptical,
Uh-huh.
but my body, like, I went to sleep after like 3 weeks of not working out and woke up one morning completely out of shape.
Just one morning.
This one morning, right? Because we're not young anymore.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like, my body didn't retain anything. I was
Yeah.
like, what about the whole year of
Yeah.
working out 3 nights a week? And my
Doesn't
body was
count.
like, yeah, that shit don't count no more.
Nope.
Like, this ain't memory foam. I don't retain your shape for you. You have to work out every day, or the one day you don't work out,
Yeah.
I'll look like you never worked out.
It's so
Ever.
sad and true.
Yeah.
It's so, you have to work out all the time just to not lose.
To not lose.
Yeah. And then you just a week off and you're just back to starting over.
Yeah.
It really is so sad.
Yeah. I used to see people in the gym, like, older, our age. And I'm like, why are they here? They're not even in shape. And I just realized now, or during the pandemic, they're maintaining that.
Right.
Like if they don't work out,
then
there's if I think they're out of shape now, they'd be. And then there's people that look at me and be like, he's not in shape, and I get it.
Right.
I get it 100%.
I was at a pool a couple of years ago, and I was just watching everybody, and all the middle-aged dudes had no shoulders. They just had
I had no shoulders.
They just had arms that stuck into their their torso, and they had like bad tattoos on them. And I'm like, you got to do, like, they did nothing. I'm like, you've got to at least maintain a little bit.
You
Like,
got to maintain your shoulders at least.
Just at least your shoulders and your biceps. I know it's like, it's vanity just to do your biceps, and there's a lot more to work at. You know what? Not really.
Not really.
I'm just gonna work on those.
100%.
I just saw it was Sylvester Stallone's birthday tomorrow. Oh no, on the 6th. It's coming on the 6th, and I knew it from my radio show. So I'm not the head of his fan club.
Sure, you're Italian.
I love him, but I do love him.
Right.
But anyway, I looked at his Instagram, and he's flexing in, I mean, like
he's still Rocky.
He's bigger than Rocky. He's bigger than Rocky. He's bigger than Mr. T.
Damn.
He's like at 75.
He's 75.
Yes.
I guess he is.
So here's my question: if you're not eating during the morning, and I were to try that, maybe we replace our meals with steroids or human growth hormone, because that's another way to maintain.
Yeah.
Because that thing about being older and losing it, right? If we get shots, maybe.
Well, let me ask you a question. You're not in a professional league or anything, right? Because as long as you're not, if your answer is no, then you could do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. No one's going to test us.
Yeah. But if you're,
Oh, I thought you were saying it because I have no need for big muscles. Okay.
I mean, people can do whatever they want.
Yeah. So we could do that, right?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Why not? And then you hit. I don't know how it works, but I picture you get a shot of steroids and then you work out real fast on whatever muscle you want.
Yes, where you put it all into your shoulders.
Just go all shoulders. Just doing a lot of flat.
And then
the next day you wake up, you've got massive shoulders.
Yeah. And you like take that body for abandoning me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Who's the Rock now?
Yeah. Who needs you?
Yeah, because that's another thing. The Rock too. Yeah, The Rock.
He works out like crazy.
And he's got to be taking shots of something too, though.
I mean, I don't know, but he builds a gym everywhere he goes. Jesus.
I know.
Like if he has a mistress, he built a gym at her house so that he can work out while he's cheating on his wife. Yeah.
It's really true.
Yeah.
It's really true.
He builds a gym wherever he goes. There's gyms all over the world where he shot movies. They're just there.
Just chains and ropes and tires.
Yeah. And cobwebs, because he already shot the movie and he's gone.
Right. Yeah. He leaves the gym behind.
He leaves the gym behind.
Oh man. So when you were growing up, because you have a British background, a Jamaican background, where were you? Where were you as a little kid?
Like where?
Like where when you're 10 years old.
Okay, 10.
And you come into breakfast. What country are we in?
10 years old, come to breakfast, Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
Yeah.
And you were living with both your parents?
Yeah.
And grandparents?
Grandparents and cousins.
The whole big party.
Yeah, we had a yard with 2 houses in it. And one was my grandparents' house. So me and my brothers and sisters, my mom and my father stayed there. And like a space in between in the yard, and my cousins, which was my father's sister, her husband, and their kids.
Nice.
And then there was like more land in the back, and we'd plant some shit. And we had some goats.
Oh yeah.
And my uncle had some pigs. And so at one point, he built a chicken coop. Had some chickens. And then it was like that.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Was it as much fun as it sounds?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun because we didn't have no toys. Land was our toys.
Right. Get over here, goat.
Yeah. There was some goats. We had another piece of land if you take the goats up the street and up a hill and then through these bushes. We had another, like, I don't know if it was an acre.
Yeah.
We just tied them out there and then we could just have like a forest and you jump over the fence, the barbed wire fence, cross this thing called no man's land.
Right.
And then it was at the bottom of these mountains. So then we just climbed these mountains and shit. And play up that shit and explore.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And
You
what
had a mountain for a toy?
No.
Yeah.
I had a hill in New Jersey. We used to roll down it.
Yeah, I relate to that. Roll down. That sounds like mad fun, to be honest.
It was pretty good.
Sounds like mad.
Walk to the top of the hill, roll down. Whew, that was good. Let's do it again.
Yeah. And when it snowed, did you sled down it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's a multi-purpose, multi-seasonal hill. Yeah, man.
Did you see snow when you were a kid? Did you ever see snow?
Nah, just in movies and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
When's the first time you saw snow?
Nah, I saw snow when I was growing up in England.
Uh-huh.
So that was like from 1 to 9.
Okay.
But it would mostly get cold, but there was snow, but not like movie snow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like that picturesque, like I don't remember them ever like closing down the streets and having like what are those trucks that push the snow
The
on top of your
plows,
car?
snow plows.
Snow plowing your car in New York, yeah.
Handing you some hot chocolate out the window.
Wait a minute,
Santa walks by. Yeah. So what brought you from? Why at 9 do you move to Jamaica from?
Because my parents are from Jamaica, and then they had us in England, and I guess they felt like, let's move back to Jamaica and stay home,
Right.
and let's live there.
Let's go back there.
Yeah,
Right.
And we're like, but we're from here.
Right. I've got friends.
Yeah, this is kind of selfish. You're not thinking this out. Like, what am I going to tell Harry and Greg?
Right.
You know, what am I going to tell the girls that I like? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Come visit me in Jamaica.
Come visit me in Jamaica.
We're 9.
They don't even got passports. Yeah,
Right.
it's like, yeah, you're not thinking this out. It's pretty selfish.
So when you roll into that land that you were talking about, were you fighting at first, or were you like, did you adapt pretty quickly?
You was trying to tell me something about your father before, and you just raised not to fight your parents.
Right.
You just, like, whatever he told you about going to see the fireworks,
Right.
you just accepted it.
Yeah.
You surrender. You just accept it.
This is out of my hands.
It's out of my hands.
I am powerless.
Yeah, I know I'm too young
Right.
to not get on that flight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do about it.
But when you walk around when you get there and you're checking out the goats and you're seeing your cousins and stuff, is it are you pretty happy right away, or does it?
Nah.
Or are you pretty angry for a bit?
Not angry, but it's just gonna take a minute to get used to.
Yeah, that's a big shift. It's
a big shift. But then you forget about shifts. You forget it, and it just happens. You're just in it.
Yeah.
And this is who you are now.
Who's cooking when you're there at 10?
My aunt, my mom was a great cook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What would they make?
Boiled dumplings, breadfruit, bammy, ackee and saltfish.
What's bammy?
Curry goat. Bammy is like these cakes that you could fry, made out of cassava.
Cassava?
Yeah.
What's cassava?
Cassava is like, the simplest way to put it is like a form of potato.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a different type of one of those starches.
Right. And fry it up.
Fry it up.
Like a home fry.
Yeah, and it'd be good as shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Curry goat.
Fritters.
Oxtail fritters. Callaloo, which is like the closest thing I can compare it to here is spinach.
Yeah.
And
a lot of plantains.
Plantains, yeah.
Yeah. I love Jamaican food.
You do? Oh,
yeah.
dope.
I've been there
from the East Coast.
Yeah, from the East Coast, exactly. And before I ever went to Jamaica, it was being in New York. Being in New York City, there were spots that, I forget what was the name of it. There's There were 2 locations of it. Negril.
Negril. Yes.
Negril.
I fucks with Negril.
Oh.
On West 3rd, right?
Yeah,
Or
West
4th.
3rd, and there was one on 23rd Street also.
Yeah.
On the west side. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, when we were kind of like, beginning comedy, like pretty young, and we used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
And we were the only white people in there. And
I don't know why that makes me laugh. I've been to the grill there, but
and it made us feel like, oh, this is legit. Like,
because you're hearing Jamaican accents sitting at the table and eating.
Totally.
Yeah.
And and the music and the food was so good. And it was like, if you walk in to a place called The Grill and it's nothing but white people from the village,
and
you're like, what is it? Is this a Chipotle of Jamaica? Like, what are we doing?
The Chipotle of Jamaica food. That's funny.
So it felt legit. And then when we went to Jamaica, it confirmed it. Like it was so good, so fresh. But what a confusing place too, because it's so beautiful and there's so many people with no money.
Yeah.
It's like one of those island nations that just economically, it's like it's always seems to be stuck in this one place.
Yeah, there's this. I mean, they have that financial imbalance here, and then I don't know. It's like every country advertises itself a certain way. So when you go there, you're expecting to only see that way.
Right.
And then when you go and see poverty, you're like, they never mention poverty.
That wasn't in the brochure.
In the brochure. So it's always a shock.
Yeah.
Because you only think of that place as a place for you go to for vacation.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. And then, but you're right. I mean, it is everywhere.
Yeah.
You never see when in the American brochure, you don't see what we see.
Like a lot of Americans are like upset that there's so many immigrants or people coming here, and it's like, do you understand that in all over the world, you advertise America as the land of milk and honey, and anything is possible, and Lamborghinis and blondes and palm trees and huge ass houses, and people make it. So you keep putting that out, people are going to want to come here.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are going to want to come here.
Yeah.
And no matter how poor they are here, they were poorer where they came from.
For sure.
And there's jobs here that pay little, but it's more than there. And they're like, I'll just save and I'll get all those things that I came here to get.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So America, you got to stop advertising if you want.
if you don't want people to come
here.
It's like what I always tell people when I perform in Denver. I'm like, you guys, you're a little too braggy. I'm like, if you know what you've got, keep quiet about it.
Keep quiet about it. Stop bragging, America.
Now you
Shut your mouth.
Now you got traffic.
Yeah. Like, people aren't stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, it's you're giving away stock tips, America. You're the hot country to come to.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers are gonna come here.
They're gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
So who from your family came?
All of my, what they call it, all the members of the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Mother, father, my brother, and my 2 sisters, and me.
And how old were you then?
Here I was like 17.
Oh, okay. So you're only in Jamaica for junior high school.
Yeah. Well, went to elementary school there and high school.
Okay.
The schooling's a little different. It's
right.
Like, you go from elementary school, you stay to like 11, and then you go to high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And then where did you come? Did they come West Coast?
Yeah, East Coast. Long Island.
Okay. Yeah. And then, so you start comedy there?
Yeah, I start comedy there.
Oh.
Like at Governor's Comedy Club.
No.
Yeah. That was my home.
Yeah.
Club.
Talk about poverty. They don't put governors in the brochure of comedy.
I know. It's a good club though.
It's a great club.
Because
it's great.
It's funny because it's not like a club that I haven't been there in decades.
Yeah.
But I remember Jimmy, I think that was the owner at the time. He was mad cool. And then you could, as a 20-something-year-old comic,
Yeah.
As a 20-year-old, you're just looking for shit to do on the weekend.
Right.
But as a 20-something-year-old comic,
Yeah.
you could go to Governors on the weekend and watch the show. And they would bring in like major headliners that people are on TV.
Everybody.
So as a goddamn, I'm like, what are my other friends who are not in comedy doing now? I don't know what they're
Right.
doing. But
Yeah.
I'm watching people straight off TV shows
Yeah.
do an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was great. They let us come in and do that, and that was dope.
The best.
Yeah.
So where was the inkling of getting into comedy in the first place?
There was none.
There was none.
None at all.
Someone made you do it?
Nah, it was yeah, my dumb self. I talked me into it. But so I used to watch like comics and stuff on TV, and I used to think that's some shit you have to be born with and have the talent to do.
Right.
So I never considered myself. I was like, singing, this is how my mind used to work back then. I was like, singing, you probably could fake it,
Yeah.
I don't know how, but you probably could. There's probably some singers that are not that good.
Yeah.
But every comic that I knew then was funny. I was like, you can't force people to laugh or make them to laugh.
Right.
So you had to be good. So
Yeah.
I just never thought that.
Yeah.
Right? But then, I tell this story a lot. There's this guy's name is Greg Ellis. And we actually went to the same high school.
Right.
And we worked at the same Burger King. But he was funny as shit. And we just used to laugh. And he used to make fun of people.
Right.
And we used to just laugh. And the shift time would just go fast.
Yeah.
So then I was like, why don't you try to be funny? To like make friends and just have a funner life.
Right.
So then I used to like watch him and figure things out and then joke around and shit. So then I became the second funniest person at Burger King,
That's great.
So after I got that unofficial title that I gave to myself, and they put me on drive-through to take orders.
Yeah.
I was like, the only way I can catch up to Greg and get the title of first funniest is if I just work out my improv skills on these strangers to giving their order. So then I just like come up with shit when people were giving their order. I got a mic. I'm just clowning. I can't even see them. They come around to get their food. And then this one car had this guy and they said, hey, did you take my order? And I was like, yeah. He said, you're funny, man. You should do comedy. And he said it and I was like, oh shit.
Really?
Yeah, that should, it's weird, but I couldn't tell you what this guy looked like if I saw him again 100 times.
Right.
But I took his advice.
But he changed my life.
Yeah, he changed my life, literally. Yeah.
That's all you wanted to hear. Just tell me something.
Yeah,
tell me I got something.
Yeah. I don't know. This guy has the worst taste.
This guy's he's all sarcastic. You should go in comedy.
He didn't mean
Ha
it.
ha ha! Give me my fries.
He did snatch the bag.
And peel out.
Yeah.
And you're there. I'm gonna go into comedy. I'm gonna change my life.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So Governor's was your first spot?
Yeah. I went there, checked out some mics.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was there because there was like a tri-county flea market in the front of the parking lot where it was at. And we used to like spend our checks, Burger King checks, in that tri-county flea market in East Meadow. So I knew the club was like behind it.
Right.
So it was just like, all right, let's go there. Everything was set up.
Yeah.
Everything was set up.
All we need now is real snow coming down.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle story.
Everything was set up for me to ruin my life. So might as well walk the path, the easiest path.
When you came to the States, were your parents was your mom still cooking? Did she bring that food?
Yeah, she still
kept the connection?
Yeah, she still cooked on our weekends, and she killed it.
What was your favorite? Like, what was the thing that, if it was Ian's birthday or if there was a holiday?
It's just, it's hilarious. She would experiment.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, because she, like how you like making bread.
Mm-hmm.
So you enjoy it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I would think after like working all week,
right,
the last thing you want to do is like work in the kitchen.
Right.
But not only was she like making food, but she would like experiment and try new shit.
Mm-hmm.
So she had the energy or the drive,
right,
or
she loved
I don't
it.
know what it is.
It was a passion.
Yeah, a passion.
Yeah.
She make lasagna.
Mm-hmm.
Like I probably was 18 the first time I tried lasagna.
Right.
Because lasagna is not a Jamaican dish.
There's not a lot of lasagna in Jamaica.
It's not a lot of lasagna. Yeah.
They're not walking down the beach serving up, scooping up.
Scooping lasagna into your curry goat.
A lot of lounge chair hands going up.
Yeah.
I'll take the lasagna.
Yeah, it's not kind of Jamaican.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it wasn't that.
Yeah.
So lasagna and just anything, like different types. She'd make cheesecake, carrot cake.
Wow.
She was
good.
Yeah, she'd go off in the kitchen, man.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is a passion. It becomes a thing. Like, you literally, I think about that sometimes. Like, I'll come back from the comedy store, and I've got to get to sleep, or if I have an appointment and I'm in the kitchen baking.
It's bananas, man.
And it's like, what am I, like, if I didn't do this, I'd have plenty of time to make this appointment. Like, I have people waiting for me to do the radio show or whatever, and I'm like down to the second making sure that the mix is done and get it. And but I don't really think of it as like a chore.
It's not even a thought.
No.
Nah, so that's how it must have been for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get excited because you're giving it to people. That's a big part of it, is that you're sharing it with people. Like, when I knew that we were meeting up today, and I've been baking a lot recently, and I kind of like was done with a cycle of trying new things out. And then I was like, oh no, wait, I have Ian on Wednesday.
Right.
I have to go see him. And then you have to start doing the math back, and you're like, all right, so I've got to feed this sourdough starter and get the thing proofed through midnight, and then make sure that I can get up, shape it in the morning, so I can bake it at 12. As soon as I get off the radio show, I'll take a break before at 11:45. I'll tell him I need a second. I'll heat the oven, so when I get off the air, I'll run in and then put them right in, so in that hour I can get that baked before I come and sit down with Ian.
That's bananas, bro.
But it's exciting because you're like, oh, because I know Ian talked to Rogan, and Rogan's complimented the bread, and Ian said, I hear your bread's good, so I can't give you lame bread. I've got to know that
you got to live up to this.
I've got to live up to it,
yeah.
and make you happy. And so it's just kind of like, it is this work like your mom, but it's not work.
That's I guess that's how when I think about comedy, it's like, it's a good thing. It was a lot of work, especially the bombing to get better.
Yeah.
And but it just was like, this is a necessary thing I have to go through. And then even as far as like my mother cooking, like, so we had this house in Long Island, and that she would like to like have parties. So like 4th of July, I think it was a 4th of July. She had a barbecue, right? And I swear to God, bro, she made this pink potato salad. And then she told me to invite as many friends. So I invited a bunch of comics, like Dean Edwards, and like any comic that came. And that was like, that might have been 15 years ago.
Right.
Anybody, some of those people I don't see all the time, like Dean I'll talk to on a regular basis, but there's other people you don't talk to like unless it's every other 5 years.
Right.
And I swear, if they was at that barbecue, there's like, yo, your mother's pink potato salad. Yo, I swear they bring that shit up. And then I tell her,
Yeah.
So she'd make stuff like that.
That's amazing.
That's so crazy.
It's
man.
so great.
Yeah.
That really is so great. A pink
Like,
potato salad.
Yeah, I don't know
And
if
she made-
I would remember it. I remember seeing it. I remember it was the debut because you never made that before. It was the debut of the pink potato salad, and it
was probably a
definitely-
mistake. Oh, what the hell?
So fuck it. Let's
Came out pink. What did I put in here?
put it in. The beets, Mom. The beets. I think you should put beets in it. That shit was a hit, bro. Everybody talks.
No,
about
it's like
that.
when you look at it with comedy, like when you look back and you tell your story in your head of like where you've gone and what you've done, it almost seems, I'm sure it's the same for you, it almost seems insane.
we were crazy.
It's the amount of driving, the amount
Tolls.
of tolls,
No pay.
no pay, like driving hours to get on for 10 minutes
Yeah.
and getting no money and coming
Yeah.
back home.
All clubs that are empty. One
Nobody,
for 3 people, or just comics
yeah,
for years.
for years, and having a bombing.
Bombing.
I mean, staying in your friends' apartments. I mean, crazy.
Where did I get the money
But
from
when-
to continue?
Right, exactly. And who was hiring me? I didn't even know what I was doing
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
And I was doing shows for people.
Yeah.
But then when you look back at it, it's like, oh, that's impossible. It's insane. But when you were in the middle of it,
Right.
it was the greatest thing in the world.
Greatest thing and the most normal, natural thing to do.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
There was never a thought like, I got to stop doing this.
No.
Right? Never.
Never, bro. Never. Like when that guy said that thing to me,
Yeah.
in my head, I said, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. He said it, and that was my response to it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's the best thing I ever heard in my entire life.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's only because it lined up and that is really what your destiny was. Like,
Yeah.
You do when you talk to people like that are starting out and they're like, yeah, I might, or I maybe,
There's no,
or I have another, you know,
right.
it's only a matter of time. You're not going to be here long.
Yeah. I'm single, right? But if I meet a woman and feel the same way I felt about comedy when that guy said that,
Uh-huh.
then I'm marrying her. And I don't even
Right.
believe in marriage.
Right.
But I know what that feeling about doing the right thing is.
Right.
You
When
know,
destiny smacks you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Why don't you believe in marriage?
Because most of the marriages around me don't work out.
Right.
You know, there are some beautiful ones. Like I don't talk to you a lot about your marriage, so I don't know how it's going. But like Rogan's marriage and Greg Fitzsimmons' marriage
Yeah.
is romantic as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
I like the way Greg talks about his marriage. Like we've been in some writers' rooms together. He's like, I gotta go home and put a move on the wife. And anybody who wants to do that with someone they've been with so long,
Right.
I'm like, fuck it, that sounds great.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Did you ever come close?
To get married? Nah, I don't think. Nah.
No.
Nah.
Did it work out for your folks?
Yeah, I mean, to a point, yeah. Yeah, to a point.
Yeah. Did they stay together?
Yeah, I mean, my father died, so they never broke up
Right.
on the technicalities.
It's one way to get out of
It's-
it.
You know, my mother got out of it that way.
Died or was murdered.
That's why she doesn't want us to exhume the body. Just kidding, Mom. Just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's when it does work.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same boat. And there's only a handful. There's like
Right.
Gaffigan. You know, there's like of people that we came up with.
Right.
Who got married in we're at 21 years.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about it on stage now, that it's like if you do find it, it actually, for myself, it made life so much easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you take that whole, it's like it gives you something to work towards. It eliminates all of the guessing and figuring out if they're happy or you're happy. It's just like you're in it. You're
Right,
just
yeah.
you now have this track that you're living in,
Right.
and it's fun, and like all that other being single and trying to having that part of your life completely open with all these options and questions,
Right.
is just exhausting.
No, listen, you can waste a lot of time being single.
Right.
Because I've probably wasted most of my time, like, trying to find the right woman or trying to find the wrong woman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do intentionally try to find the wrong person,
Right.
especially when you have a mind like mine and you're not trying to settle down.
Right.
Like I've run from a few women that I felt might be the right woman.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've definitely done that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it started to get,
I was
you
like,
felt yourself
this-
being drawn in.
This feels too right. I'm out. How dare you?
Oh really?
How fucking dare you be the right woman? You know I'm trying to be single out here. Why don't you go find the wrong person like everybody else?
You need a guy driving by like the drive-through going, marry her.
Shit, that's you again.
You know, imagine he hasn't aged.
Who
Same
are you?
car.
Yeah.
Still eating fries.
And give me my order. This fucking guy.
Well, it's also your nature. Like
Yeah, yeah. And
you're obviously very comfortable
Yeah.
being single. I wasn't built that way.
Right, right.
You know.
Can I tell you a crazy thing?
Yeah, please.
So here's the crazy thing is when I was a kid, I was watching TV, and there was, I don't remember what show. It was like a movie, and it was like a bunch of people, young people in their 20s or early 30s, and they were having a dinner party, and they were drinking wine, they were eating, there was candles on the tables, a long tables, a bunch of them,
Right.
and they were just like eating and laughing and drinking.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that's how, I was like 6 or 7, I said, that's how I want my life to be.
Uh-huh.
I never want to be married. I just want to be out with friends all the time,
Right.
and doing that, right?
Yeah, at 6 and 7.
6 or 7.
Right.
And I remember that, right?
Right, yeah.
And then, and this is, so 6 and 7, not thinking about comedy or anything. But then only a few years ago did I realize that's what I've been doing.
Right.
Because as a comic, you're out with your friends every night after show.
Right.
You're going to all these restaurants late night. You're
Yeah.
eating, you're laughing, and you're fucking talking.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
that thing that I thought of
Yeah.
is so, that's,
You made it happen.
I made it happen, or it was gonna happen, or
Right.
that's, whatever but it was, when I saw that, when at 6 or 7, it's the same thing I felt when the guy said the comedy thing.
Right.
Like that's for me.
Yeah.
And that's there's no doubt that's for me.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you decide what you're going to eat that day, it's just, you don't even have to say it out loud. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to ask what other people feel like having.
Yeah.
You just say in your head, I'm going to go eat this now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it happens.
That happens. Yeah.
That is such a simple life. We got in a war the other night.
Hilarious.
Like 2 daughters didn't want to order the same thing. Like I'm letting them, we're going to order in tonight. We're going to, I'm not going to cook. We're going to, what do you want? The war. I don't want that. You get that every time. I was like, it went on for an hour.
Damn.
Within that hour, you would have
Cooked.
cooked and gone out.
Yeah. So there's ate the food, took the leftovers, and served the homeless, and then back in bed.
Oh man, it's
How
so
old are
funny. 18 and 19 and 16.
19 and 16.
Yeah, they just had birthdays.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it's a very, everybody has their own stuff. Everybody likes their own things, and it's very. And sometimes they go, they say the opposite just because the other one said they wanted something. I want pizza. Well, no, I don't want that. if if we had started with you, you might have said pizza. I know it.
Right.
But because she said pizza,
You should make them write it down on a piece of paper and slide it to you, and it'd always be the same thing.
that's a great idea.
And then never tell them what it is, and then just order.
That's a great idea. So I always there's two things I always say about you when I'm talking comedy. One is a joke, and one is just a wise tale, because you're so damn funny, and you're able to and you're a great writer, and because you're a great writer, you've gotten a lot of gigs and been able to go write. But I remember I think it's because there were two gigs that you were on where you were leaving because you were going back to stand up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And not a lot of people do that. And I always admired it, because it was like, oh, he really knows exactly that being a comedian is his first love.
Right.
Is that still true?
Yeah, but then the pandemic hit, and then I was home. First of all, being on the road is tiring.
Yeah.
So that's tiring. But then when the pandemic hit, for me, it hit at the right time. I was running around.
Yeah.
So it was good to take the break.
Yeah.
And then it was good to know I'm diversified in entertainment, so that I can be like, all right, I can make some money writing now.
Right.
While I'm home.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing.
For sure.
And while other people were, were unable to.
Yeah.
So I'll never
had no
take
options.
that for no options. Like, some writing gigs came in, and I could just stay home and do them on Zoom.
That's great.
So then that was like, not a realization, but it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, again,
it really,
the guy on the drive-through said that thing, and then a pandemic hits, and then I could still make some money doing that.
No,
thing.
that was a huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because it was, that part dried up, and it was interesting because when did you start? You started in stand up. You started in.
I always try to bury that.
You do.
Yeah, I would let's just say we started around the same time.
We started around the same time.
Yeah,
and
because that's pretty.
Yeah, and we and that's funny. And
I don't like hearing how old I am.
Yeah, I know. So 55 years, and
100.
But everybody that was really good and has been working really hard, that year was stopping for a minute. It was the only way we were going to stop.
Yes, yeah.
It was the only way. We weren't going to say yes to every single gig that came through and get on another plane and go and just hustle.
Right.
And it panned out in different ways for different people, but for people like ourselves, it was kind of a nice thing to. All right, let's catch our breath and then go back at it. Have you done sets since we've come back?
Yeah. And I was doing sets.
You were Zooming
I did some Zoom. Some people are like, I don't want to do a Zoom. It's like, do it.
Yeah, just
what
do
are you
it.
protecting?
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, just try it all. What
Anything.
if the world doesn't come back and you have to do Zooms?
Yeah.
And you're behind everybody who's Zooming.
Yeah, it's another set.
It's just another set. Just try it. So I did those. And I only did one or two of them.
Yeah.
Or maybe three of them. And then a friend of mine, Mark Hayes, he's a newer comic, but he hustles. He started doing Jam in the Van and some other outside shows for what he loved. He even did outside spots at the Buffalo Wild Wings patio in North Hollywood. And those shows are actually decent. So at first I knew I was going to get out of comedy shape, but it's like, why worry? Everybody's going to be out of comedy shape.
Yeah.
But then when he started doing those, I was like, let me come by and check it out. My other homeboy was doing Low Key Outside. That's Paul Elia. So he was doing that with Matt and Matt Rife. And so I just started doing those shows enough to like get my bearings back.
Yeah. Do you feel like, has it changed your perspective at all now, going back inside? And did it change your outlook on stand-up at all? Yeah,
because it freed me up. I've always been looking for this freedom on stage.
Yeah.
And sometimes you catch it, and then sometimes it leaves, and you're doing it, and you're doing well, but there's just something you're not doing.
Yeah.
Or there's a way you're not doing it. And with the pandemic, especially when I hadn't done it for months, which is like, we're from New York,
Yeah.
so we're built on the repetition of doing things. But then the freedom of letting myself know I'm gonna mess up tonight, and the part of like, yeah, so what? Don't worry about it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I have
so
the same
simple.
exact experience.
Yeah,
that is the biggest change.
yeah, and it made me better.
Right.
Yeah, so crazy. Yeah.
And I hope we can hang on to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And the other night I caught myself at the store not hanging on to that, trying to do a set where, bam, I know this, boom, hit them here, hit them there. And I was like, I listened to the thing, and I was like, you're letting go of that thing.
You're locking in.
You're locking in, you're delivering. So then I just realized, relax.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah.
And the good thing, or the thing that I'm trying to say, and it's because like when we came back, it was like, oh, turns out we know how to do this.
Right.
Like within a set, you're like, oh, I'm still funny. I know what I'm doing. I could take a break, because we used to terrified if you had a
Yes.
2 weeks was like your career's over. 3 days in a row you were like rusty.
Yeah.
Like you thought you were rusty, and then after this it was like months, and you're like, no, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm funny.
Yeah, you start
I
trusting yourself.
deserve to trust myself when you're on stage. But then you stand up there and you're trusting yourself, and no one's laughing, and the guy before you just crushed, and you're like,
well, that idiot just crushed because he didn't trust himself.
yeah. And now I gotta break out my shit and start pounding and let this audience know I know what I'm doing. I was talking with Rory Scovel the other day. He just released a thing on YouTube where he was just going up for 6 nights in a row. He went up with no material. And it wasn't crowd work. He was just going to perform, use this freedom, and just not do bits.
Shit
and
that
just
he knew.
And just be up there.
Right.
And you talk to him, it's like he found the fountain of youth or something.
Yeah.
He's
crazy.
so excited.
Yeah.
And he's telling me, it's like someone who tried a new drug and they want you to try it. They're like, no, dude, you've got to take this. You are going to love it.
Yeah.
And it really is.
It's the blue pill, or is it the red pill?
Right? Yeah.
But it's one of the pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really unique. It's really this cool thing, and it's really profound because it's, people who started like you and I, like around the same time, like we're all in that same rhythm. We all went through these things and got better, and you do get locked in. We all went through these same rhythms.
Yeah, we work so hard to get better. We don't want to risk relaxing.
Right. But that's going to make you even better
It's going to
than you
make
were.
you even better, yeah. Because we only know the way that we got the way we are.
Right.
But there's now, but we know there's more. But now we have to believe the way to get to more is actually the reverse way of how we got to where we are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you won't know this because you're from Jamaica, but it's kind of like when you drive in the snow and they say that like your instinct, if you start sliding, your instinct is to turn out.
Right.
Get away out of trouble.
And that's going to make you slide even more.
And it's going to mess you up.
Yeah.
So you got to turn into it. Go with it. It's against your instinct.
Right.
But it's the way to safety.
It's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that from like driving in New York.
Right. That's right. You drove. I was only kidding.
That's right. I drive.
You never saw snow before.
Seen snow? God damn it, Tom. But like I have friends that do jujitsu.
Yeah.
And then some of the things that they tell me, I'm lazy. I won't go do it, but I'll just listen to them.
Yeah.
And think I know it enough to protect myself if something happens. I just make notes in my head.
Yeah.
But
You're
a
ready
lot
to
of
go.
stuff is like counterintuitive. But in jujitsu.
Right.
And it works. Yeah. So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very similar.
Yeah.
You ever go back to Jamaica?
I went like 5 years ago for a family reunion.
Oh, yeah.
Planning another one.
How was that?
they're planning. How was it going back?
How was the reunion?
That was dope because when I was growing up, I couldn't afford to like go to a resort.
Mm-hmm.
So there were two parts of the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
One was the family met in Spring Village where my mother and her grandparents grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go to that part. But there was a part where they met at the resort for like a week. I went to that part.
Oh, really?
I just wanted to like live the Jamaican resort life, the type of life that I've seen people who come to Jamaica to visit lived. You know what I mean?
How was it? Was it weird being in the resort?
Man,
you loved it?
Anytime.
But it wasn't your mom's food.
Nah, it wasn't as good either, but it was close enough.
Lasagna in the lounge chair. Oh, it's great. It is so beautiful there.
Yeah.
So do you consider yourself, what do you consider yourself?
If I don't say Jamaican, you get killed. But I don't want to limit my identity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say like a world person. Fuck it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I always say I'm Italian
Mm-hmm.
because I just love Italians. And I'm not even all Italian. I have one German.
Yeah, one German.
We have one German.
I think I see it.
Yeah. That's all you see. I know, that damn German genes.
Strong.
Strong.
Strong ass genes.
Because I'll say I'm Italian, and they're like, and
what else? Just say it.
And Irish? No.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I just want to be Italian.
It's funny.
I couldn't say I'm a world person.
Mm-hmm.
I get too uncomfortable in parts of the world that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I always want to be cool and
Limited world person for me.
Yeah. I'm a resort world person.
Resort world. Yeah.
I go from resort to resort
around the world. Yeah, I've been there.
No, they really just becomes the as you live and travel. Do you get to travel around the world a bunch? Yeah. So, it's just it's the unknown. It's right. It's the unknown. And then once you start doing it, and the world does become more open and comfortable to you.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite places you've ever been?
So it's funny. The year of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
I was touring with Tosh
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of the year. So we went to Hawaii, which I always like going to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's the best.
Then we went to Australia, went to Sydney, Melbourne. I forgot the other place. But on the way back, because it was on a private jet and it needs to refuel and you can't go all the way from Australia back to California, we stopped in Fiji for like 3 days. Like on a private island.
Oh, man.
Resort.
Oh, I think he sent me a picture of Arlo surfing there.
Yeah.
Right? Did he bring his son?
Yeah, his son Arlo, met Arlo. And Fiji was like...
Was that insane?
Yeah, but I only know the resort side of Fiji.
Well, that's all you should know.
So, thank you for giving me confirmation.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that was dope.
Was it?
Yeah, it was just chilling, man.
Yeah. That's amazing. I've never been there. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's a place I would never think to go.
Yeah.
But I was like, this island is lit.
It's so great.
A bunch of islands, but the island I was on, like we flew to Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got on one of those planes that land in the water.
Oh, yeah.
To get to the resort island that we stayed 3 days at.
Oh, my God.
And then,
That is sweet.
So I'm not complaining about that.
Why don't you just start Ian.0 and dethrone Daniel.
Right.
And take me to Fiji.
Gotcha. Sounds good to me. As long as I get to go.
And the other thing, the joke that I always butcher when I tell people is your joke about the Michael Jackson documentary.
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Such a funny joke.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
It's so good because it comes up in conversation a lot because people talk about those documentaries and about whether or not Michael's canceled and can you still listen to Michael. And your joke about when you just stood at Largo's where I first saw it, and you just tell all those people, if you watched that Michael Jackson documentary and you still listen to Michael's music, you're a garbage person. I have no respect for you. You are terrible. I can listen to Michael's music all I want because I will never watch that documentary. It's so simple. It's so simple and true and funny. It's so good.
It's always the simple ones and shit.
Yeah. Do you still do it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it. I only do it when I do long sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you're breaking everything out.
Yeah, because like if you get a headline, you gotta need everything.
Yeah.
Everything in your arsenal.
That's right.
To do all that time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's so funny. So good. Well, you are one of my favorites, and this was really nice to sit down with you because I realized on my way here that I didn't really know your story. I knew I knew kind of where you came from and stuff, but you know, until you could actually sit down and like do this, you don't get to really like. You're never in like the hallway of the cellar saying, so what was your mom like?
Right. Because you don't want to be ridiculed. Yeah. What are you doing? Interviewing? Was this a podcast? It's like I saw a photo of like Keith and them at dinner.
Yeah.
And they sent a message to you. So we'll end up in scenarios like that at the cellar and talking.
Yeah.
So it's in groups.
Right.
But you're never really getting to know certain people individually.
Yeah, right,
you know
exactly.
Yeah.
And no, you're always been one of my favorites, and thanks for doing this.
Hey man, you're one of my favorites too, man. I was just thinking about it in the bathroom. Like we're very similar. Like observational. What is the term I thought of? Observational. Fuck, I forgot.
Come on, this sounded like it was going to be a big deal.
Yeah. I'll call you and tell you after.
All right.
When I remember.
Was it?
And what was it? Like it was a great way to
describe comedy.
Your comedy and my comedy.
Oh, I think the word was awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
The coolest. All right, Ian. Thank you so much, man.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right. There you have it. That was the great Ian Edwards. Thank you, Ian, for being here, and thank all of you for listening, and thanks Credit Karma for sponsoring today's show. Credit Karma has always been there to help you make better financial decisions, and now they want to help you even more with Credit Karma Money Spend Account. You can be rewarded for good money habits. Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win cash reimbursements for making purchases. When you use Credit Karma Money, they use their debit card, you can win daily instant karma. That's purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. You're spending money anyway. You need a debit card. Have a Credit Karma debit card. And every time you make purchases, you find out if you won money right then and there. They've already given away over $3 million in instant karma to over 50,000 Credit Karma members and counting. Open your FDIC-insured spend account for free. There is no minimum balance requirements, no overdraft fees, and free withdrawals from a network of over 50,000 ATMs. Now, here's something cool. Only for July 1st through July 23rd, 2021. Let's say that if you're listening to this in the future. Only for July 1st through July 23rd. When you make a purchase between July 1st and 23rd, you'll be automatically entered to win $1 million. Automatically. Make your purchases, sign up for the account, and through July 23rd, you can win $1 million. Come on now. Thank you, Credit Karma. Right now, visit creditkarma.com/winmoney. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Open your account and start winning. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Sign up for free and start using it right away. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See the rules. Banking services provided by MVB Bank Incorporated. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply. Thank you, Credit Karma. And now it's time to grab a quick bite. Love when we have a chance to make these calls and just get somebody on the line. And Chris Distefano is great. He's going to be a guest on our podcast soon, and now to get a quick bite with him, he's just a comedy force. He's got his own great podcast, and he loves Italian food. Hearing him talk about Italian food, it makes you think, why would I ever eat anything but? A great comedian, a great friend. Let's get on the line with Chris Distefano.
Chris.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you, babe? I miss your voice.
I miss you too. It's been crazy. Every time I'm in New York, you're in LA and vis-a-vis.
And vis-a-vis, well, it's good to be near you, kind of.
I know. What have you eaten today?
Actually, today I've had nothing. I just had an iced coffee, and I went for a walk jog like a senior citizen, and I lifted some weights because I've been eating very, 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 very poorly the last week and a half. So I've tried to do better, but now I'm on the Aroma Cafe website here, and I'm looking to get the carnitas Benedict, which is slow-cooked carnitas, peppers, onions, and 2 poached eggs on a ciabatta, but I will have that with a Diet Coke.
Nice. That sounds beautiful. When you go off and you're eating bad, what does that mean for a week and a half?
I would say, yesterday, so 2 days ago, I ordered from Marie's Italian Kitchen in LA, and I got tortellini Alfredo with grilled chicken, garlic knots, and a tiramisu.
Ooh.
Then for breakfast, the very next morning, I had bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll with an iced coffee black. I don't want to get the calories from the milk and the sugar. And then I went to Laurel Canyon, and I had the Laurel Canyon cheeseburger with waffle fries and a peanut butter beer. And then I went to a gelato place, and I had a gelato cookie sandwich with dark chocolate Nutella flavored ice cream in between 2 chocolate chip gluten-free cookies.
Oh my God!
So and then the night before that, I ate an entire pizza. Like when I go off the rails, I go off the rails. It's bad. But do most of us do that, Tom, or do I actually have an eating disorder?
No, I think that is totally human nature, and I do the same exact thing. And everybody kept telling me about intermittent fasting, which it only seems like you just don't eat breakfast. You don't really eat lunch, and then you just go completely insane at 5 o'clock and eat until your head explodes.
Yes, yeah. Like I've kind of gotten to the point with me now. I just had my second child. She's only 3 weeks old, and I've
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, paternity test pending, but it feels like it's mine. And I think that I kind of feel like, I've kind of given up now on trying to be like ripped or like any of that stuff. I kind of just feel like, you know what, man, like I just want my cholesterol to be decent, my blood pressure to be, as good as it can be. And then, other than that, I just kind of feel like, I'm not going to be ripped at all. Like it's just not, because it was going to happen, man. It would have happened already. Like it just would have happened, and it never happened.
No, the only way it's happening now is if we decide to go like human growth hormone.
Which we could do.
But why?
We could do that. I mean, well, like, look, if I ever got like a part to do like in like a movie or something like that where I needed to be shredded, I would use steroids. I did them when I was 19. I'll do them again.
Oh, you did? Did it work?
No, because again, like, I never really got in shape. I think literally because I took them when I was 19, and I still to this day have like fat, puffy nipples and like an enlarged left tit, and I think it's from the steroids.
That's the strangest steroid result I've ever heard.
Yeah, I never ever got ripped. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess like in the beginning of the pandemic, out of nowhere, I know a good friend of yours, Jerry Seinfeld, called me and told me that he thought my comedy was good. He had seen something like the 9/11 a 9/11 story that I told on YouTube, and he called me, and he was like, you know, we're gonna hang out and blah 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 blah, and now he just hasn't texted me back in a year and a half, and I've asked him twice if he'd like to get coffee, and he just left me on red. So I was like, maybe if I do steroids and get like ripped and sent him a shirtless pic, like I would do something like that to get coffee and Seinfeld. I do steroids.
Oh my God! Did you? I know you're tight on time, so let me just ask you this one last question. Did you celebrate the Italian win yesterday?
No, because I was on my set of my fucking dumb, stupid-ass TV show, Backyard Bar Wars, which airs every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. on True TV. This fucking TV show that I couldn't watch. I couldn't watch Italy. watch Italy. My people win. But I heard, my girlfriend, you know, we live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. She sent me videos of what was happening on 3rd Avenue in Bay Ridge, and I'm pretty sure someone was killed last night.
It was so great. I have to say, it was really fun, and it was really wonderful, and it was great to see Italy win. But your show, I saw the trailer for your show. It looks really great, and I'm not just blowing smoke.
I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. It's fun, you know. It's a fun thing to do. You know,
and you're funny on it. You're funny.
Well,
like it's like a good. It seems like it's a good setting for you. You're really off the cuff and funny, and it's like your stand up kind of expressed in this fun show. I like it.
Yeah, so I got to be honest. If I'm being honest, like True TV has really, really, really let me be me, which I'm really, you know, appreciative of, because a lot of TV shows they just won't let you do that. They won't let they're too scared to let a comic be a comic. But so far, they've let me do that. So I appreciate that.
It's so good. All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to let you go. You go make some more TV, and we've got to hang out when we're on the same coast at the same time.
I love you, Tom.
I love you too, buddy. Have a great day.
Bye.
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 There you have it, everybody. Thank you to Chris. Always funny. Make sure you follow him on social media and see his tour. He's out there killing it right now. Ian Edwards, the same thing. Thank you to Ian. Thank you to Credit Karma. And thank you to all of you. As we said in the beginning, I hope you're enjoying your summer. Make sure you like this podcast, subscribe, give us all the hearts and loves from wherever you're listening. If you're watching us on YouTube also, it really helps to spread the word as this community continues to grow. You guys are the best. We'll see you next time.